Okay,
Connecticut 12x30 Model B. Use a war machine. I think that puts it around 1943. We are set here at 190 RPMs. A feed rate of 9 thousandths per revolution. Let's go ahead and engage the clutch. Auto feed.
auto cross travel.
Cross feed.
Oh, I love it. Okay, we're gonna start off right at 100 thousandths on this one. Let's find a 0. Not a big fan of that finish. I don't like the sound of the belts either. Okay, I got a lot of run out in my cross slide, and I kind of suspected that I had a 5/8 8-inch Acme thread, and I've demonstrated in the past my nut on here being very loose, so let's try this. Okay, this is a this is going to be beautiful. This is a 5/8 Acme nut. I bought at McMaster Car. So why can't I get 2 of these, braze them together, and mount them inside this? You know, that'd be lovely if I could have that kind of, there's a little bit of run out. There's a little bit of wiggle there, but nothing like the one that's on there. The one that's on there at this point, it's really, really loose. So we've already passed the worst part. So that's tight. This is the most wear, probably right in here. So I bought this basically to confirm what size this was, 5/8 8. And I figured I could buy a 5/8 8 tap and get myself a piece of brass and drill it out and tap it. But what's to prevent me from getting 2 of these, brazing them to a block that the top of this could thread into. Let me show you my idea. The screw is worn, but it's nothing compared to this nut. We're going to be here a long time if I keep doing this with oily ass hands. So let's let this nut represent the second brass nut. And then we got a piece here brazed on top of it. And we got the appropriate hole with the appropriate threads to sit down in my cross slide. And there goes my 30 thousandths run out. Maybe you get it down to 10 or 5. Of course, I could just, you know, mill out a block of brass to meet those exact specifications and get a tap and do it that way too. Or I could braze this to the front of my existing nut. So here's my existing nut with the screw going through it. So if I braze this to the front of it, it's going to eliminate some travel, but the stationary one is, well, they both be stationary once they're brazed together. So I could just braze this to my current one and let this be the guide. Okay. Probably just as easy just to make a new one, but I'm excited to get rid of that end play. Okay, there's a tool called a, what do they call it? A pin wrench, and it's used for adjusting the clutch. And what I've been using is this set of vice grips and this concrete drill. I've just been using the shank of it. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to get something friendlier and softer, and I put this brass on there and turned down and so it fit in there, and well, I snapped it off down there. I'm sure you probably can see it. I'm not sure if I can point it out. Let's see if I can describe where it is. Okay, to the left of the teeth. And it actually has it's actually holding the adjustment open. Those teeth should be closed. So, I need to try to get that out of there. And what I'm going to do is try to drill into the top of that. Run a tap into it and bring it out. So no way you're going to be able to see any of this, so I'll bring you back and let you know what happened. Okay, just call me Mr. Lucky. Call me Mr. Extremely Lucky. What I ended up doing is, you see the hole here, Well, I stuck my blade and my screwdriver here, and that thing actually popped out of the hole. Move this clutch pack around a little bit. The problem I'm having, first of all, when it tells you to adjust, it tells you to adjust like one tooth. So let me see if I can bring you through that process. So I need to get the vice grips back, get rid of this piece of brass, get my drill bit back in my vice grips, and so what you do is you take your pin wrench and you stick it in this hole. Well, I'm going to get it at a better angle. You can see this piece here tapers away. So I can get in there, and when you get it at the right angle and push it in, you separate those teeth. And then you turn this. Okay, so there's all the adjustment. I got it all the way. I got it adjusted all the way clockwise. Remember that. Now I need to pull that wrench out and make sure everything's locked in. So the problem is I'll put this thing in, well, let's just show it. The clutch isn't picking up, isn't working. So phase converter on, I got it locked. So I'm trying to do like a new set point. Okay, we are in, this is C, 800 RPMs. I activate the clutch. Okay, well, it wasn't doing that 10 minutes ago. Let's go to 190, B3. Okay, let's do something crazy. Let's go to forward drive. 5 threads. I need to adjust that. All this stuff needs to be a kind of adjustment. So there's 5 threads per inch. I believe that's going to be very torquey. See, it didn't even budge it. So, and of course I forgot to close this up before that little experiment I was showing you. So we'll soon have a nice mess down here. Let me spare this stuff. My Starrett pin vise. Tell you, the pig mat, a bit expensive for my taste, but man, it does a great job. Okay, so I'm all messy. Let's get this thing back in a more reasonable. Let's go down to 8 threads per inch in the feed, and we'll call it the feed is going to be 12 thousandths per revolution. Is that how they do that? Oh, hold on a minute. There wasn't a problem there. I wasn't even in gear. So let's go back to B3. Let's go back to that crazy 4 threads per inch. See, I never used to be able to do that. Another one I wouldn't be able to do would be, there's 9, there's 8 threads per inch. Well, I think I might have got my clutch problems taken care of, at least for right now. Let's go back to 800. C3, C2. Chuck is actually, or the clutch is actually performing probably better than it ever has. It's 14 threads per inch. Let's try 190. B3, 190 RPMs. Okay, let's try going to feed. Using the half nut. Okay, let's feed using okay, let's go back to okay, now we're on feed with the clutch here. Now my question is, I have the carriage, the apron feeding, the carriage feeding to the left. My power cross feed is feeding towards me. So I thought it would be the other way around. I thought if I was feeding to the left, this would feed in. Did I hook something up wrong, or is this just the way it works? And we will do a some testing on turning in different applications, some different threading. I'd like to thread some Acme threads. I thought I did once. I got pretty close. That is 8 threads per inch. I'm gonna pick up this drill bit. I am just elated that I was able to get that piece of copper out of there, that brass. So I did that sometime on the Pratt and Whitney recently. I don't really remember. It probably is left-handed. I don't. You know, I want to do some multi-start threads also. So let's power off. Looks like I need to go back into the electrical box and do some more cleaning. Back here to the phase converter. Okay, I am getting oil on both sides of the carriage. I'm getting red oil. It's just a tinge right now. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it's, when you look at it, it's power steering fluid. The only place that could be coming from is inside this apron. Up through the carriage. And it should be coming up onto this cross slides as well. Now, by golly, that does have a red tint to it. So I would say oil is flowing just as intended. Really glad to have the cross slide. Well, the next thing I want to do, and I guess it'll be my next project, is to make a nut for the cross slide. And I talked some stuff about nuts earlier in this video or later, depending on where it fell. You know, I don't know if there's would be any great problem of me modifying my existing nut and adding that nut to it, brazing it to it, or would it be just as easy to just make a nut? So I got kind of an idea. I haven't really finished my drawing yet, but I figure a piece of round stock, with in the 4-jaw chuck, and turn one side flat, and drill it, tap it, and find the things that you're looking for. Well, anyway, do something like this. So basically, you know, put my round stock in, 4-jaw, flatten one side, probably drill and tap first, or drill and single point cut, and then machine one side flat. Try to make these, you know, obviously you need to make the height dimension. The length isn't critical, I don't think, but the height is going to certainly be critical. And you know, this thread here on the bottom is it's a pretty high thread count, pretty small thread, probably 28 threads per inch or so, but you know, there's options. I feel like I can eliminate the 30 thousandths of backlash, you know, that way. I would like to learn more about thrust bearings, and I tried something like that on the mini lathe, but you know, it was going to require opening up a book and looking up, see if anybody had thrust bearings to specific size for my little tiny mini lathe. And sometimes I just get discouraged when you have to think about it and figure it out. I'm just lazy. But yeah, I think I got a plan here. I'm happy with, especially as of you know, the last little running I did. I'm very happy with the lathe. I'm getting that piece stuck in the clutch. Kind of was a blessing, because it got something loosened up somewhere, and I was able to adjust it down to, I think, was a good position. I think any further adjustments are going to be one tooth at a time, like the instructions say. But you know, I do have a complete manual and breakdown and drawings of that clutch, so worst get to worst. But right now, very happy with it. But it's been finicky, and I did have to release tension on the belts a little bit, and there's one nut holding the motor down, and there's one nut pushing it up, and you need to have both of those to stabilize that motor, or whatever belt length you're setting. So basically loosened the belts up a bit, made that, adjusted it so it's set, and it's behaving better now. All right, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and tell a buddy, bring a friend. Oh boy, I think I already mentioned that I found my stuff. Alrighty. Let's see here. This is the top button. let's get rid of that tool here for a moment. Maybe bring some oil, introduce some oil. This seems to be one of my favorites, if I remember right.